welcome back to the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast. I'm, as ever, your humble and contrite host, Michael Lundy, and we are sitting down with the one and only, the legendary, the ray of sunshine, KJ. KJ is a remarkable talent, and she is just a wonderful person, and you are going to hear about her life, her songwriting. She is an international touring artist. We're going to hear about her travels, her work with the state of Pennsylvania in agriculture, education, and we're going to hear about her collaboration with one of the great relief pitchers of all time in Major League Baseball. So sit back, relax, put your tray tables in the upright and locked position, because we're going to chat with KJ after she plays us in with one of her great songs, Girlfriend Night, here on the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast.
Tonight.
Girlfriend Night. We let off with that track here on this episode of the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast, and I am ecstatic. You can't tell if you're sitting here, but I am like leaping up and down because I'm finally getting to sit down and really get to know this person. There are some people in this world that their mere presence, not only in your life, but just in, like a day, will just brighten your whole day, your whole life. You really wish that you knew more people like that. I am fortunate that I know KJ because she is one of those people. I have never, ever seen you like not smiling, not encouraging people, not just like you are a positive person.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. I am honored. I'm the one who's honored to be sitting here today.
Oh, please. Our humble little podcast here outside at the Pajama Factory. This is
beautiful.
It's neat. This is our first outside interview. First one I've ever done.
And it's the most perfect day.
Yeah,
flowers surrounding us and birds chirping.
Yeah. See what I told you? She's just like the best. She's like the most positive. I mean, you can't. If you are in a bad mood, if you are just having a bad day, call KJ. I'm sure that she would just come and you will feel better about yourself, about if you've broken your toe, you won't even care.
You're so funny, my friend.
Because,
So I'm not always positive.
Well,
I'm human like everybody.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. But I enjoy my life, and I'm very, very fortunate.
Yeah. I shared this story on stage, but I want to share it with the podcast. The first time I'd heard about you after I retired back to the area. I heard about you, but I'd never met you. And then you and I met at K&S Music.
Yes, I remember that.
And I had just started out. I don't think I had played like 2 or 3 gigs on my own. And I was,
You sounded great that day.
Yeah, I was not. But you were so encouraging. You even got up and sang a couple songs with me. I can't remember what it was. But I felt so good about what I was doing. I mean, even though I was just starting out, I was a neophyte. I was just, you are just a wonderful person.
Thank
so
you.
I want to.
Likewise, thank you.
I want to thank you for that because
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gosh, that means the world to me. Thank you.
Well,
we're all in this together.
We are.
And we are the crazy musicians out there that not everybody understands, but we get each other.
Yes. Well, and that's my mantra with this and the radio show is that we're all in this together.
We are.
Let's help each other out. And
Absolutely.
For the most part, everybody in this area, musicians, bands, are very supportive of each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a family.
We are fortunate.
Mm-hmm. We are very fortunate.
We talked about that earlier, that we're fortunate to have that kind of a community here.
Very true.
Yeah. So speaking of community, we're going to set the time machine back to, where were you born? Where'd you grow up? Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've ever grown up, Mike. Can I just say that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And most people say that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cliche. But no, not with you.
Not with me.
You. No.
I think it's a choice we make, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I came into this world 2 months early at Lower Bucks Hospital in Northeast Philadelphia, a place called Levittown, where all the houses were identical.
Levittown.
My parents had settled there, and both of them were school teachers. And I was very fortunate to come into the world with the parents that I had. Mm-hmm. And so there, and then we spent every weekend in Mifflinburg and every summer in Mifflinburg because my mom was a single child. She always said single child, not only. Mm-hmm. And she had lost her dad when she was 10. And so her mother came back from Connecticut, which is where her dad was from. Mm-hmm. And they settled back in Mifflinburg, which is where my grandmother was from.
Oh, wow.
And so I would come up, and my sisters, 2 older sisters, and I would come up with my parents every Friday night to Mifflinburg and then go back every Sunday and then spend the summers in Mifflinburg, Central PA.
Gosh.
So a lot of kids in Mifflinburg assumed I graduated. They're looking for me in the yearbook. I'm like, I didn't graduate with you because I didn't go to school with you. I only saw you in the summer and weekends. Yeah.
Well, because you have a song on your album Ponytails about Mifflinburg. I think it's the name of the song is Mifflinburg. And I always
there's a song called Mifflinburg and a song called Ponytails, and both were written there.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
the song Mifflinburg, though, is, if I remember, because we played it a couple times on the show, it's about traveling
It
to
is.
Mifflinburg.
Exactly.
So is that
That's it.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So let's jump back, though, quick to Levittown. Was your dad a war veteran?
He was.
Yeah.
Korean War.
Korean War.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
because that's what Levittown was built for, was all these returning GIs from
Exactly.
both World War II and Korea. And it was, this concept of, cookie cutter houses
Yes.
that, for, lower to middle class folks, servicemen to come back to. So you grew up
Very
in
affordable,
Levittown.
affordable housing. Yes, it
Yeah.
was, where every apple tree was in the same location. Every willow tree was in the same location.
I didn't realize it was that regimented.
It was. And
didn't know that.
so you knew that if someone's willow tree was giving them problems underground, that yours was going to be next. But there's something really endearing about that, because you really got to know your neighbors well.
Yeah.
And it really set me up for who I am today, because we were surrounded by people of different faiths, different colors, and all different ages. And we were the lucky ones, because we were surrounded by that and didn't know anything different.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, as much as I love Central PA, when I moved up here, it was definitely whiteified, as we called it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really different for us. And we were used to having ethnic food and things, and we didn't have that so much. Things are really growing and expanding around here, which I love to see, the variety of people and the backgrounds. But we didn't quite have that early on.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Having grown up here, I agree.
Yeah.
Have you been back to Levittown?
I have. I travel there a lot because my sister owns the house in which we grew up on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So are the willow trees gone, or are
They're
they
all
still
gone.
Everything's kind
Most of the trees are gone, sadly. Some of them have planted a few things.
Yeah.
It's an interesting place to return to. They always say you can't return home. I think that is true. But boy, I can close my eyes and the smells are still the same down there.
Wow.
And,
Well, that's cool.
It's
I've never
interesting.
met anybody that is from Levittown.
Yeah.
Heard so
Yeah.
much about it, and you study it, and
Yes.
Wow.
My dad used to say as he got older, was it a problem that we had you guys moving all the time, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? And I said, no. I said, because you actually created in me an independent spirit.
Yeah.
The youngest of three, I definitely have it. And my one other sister especially has it too. But we've often said, I'm hoping it's made us more interesting, because we've been in so many places, and we don't mind having a suitcase packed all the time.
Yeah.
And it prepared me for the person I am today and what I do for a living.
Wow. So you're the youngest of three.
I am.
Okay.
Two sisters.
So where'd the musical gene come from?
Thanks for crediting that. I think both of my parents, honestly, and my sisters sing as well.
Okay.
We would travel so much in the car, and this sounds really not fun to talk about, but I used to get motion sick in the car all the time. And my dad quickly realized that if I would either eat or I would sing, I'd be fine. And I did not want to eat all the time. Yeah. So if we sang all the time, I just completely forget about being motion sick, and I was fine. And then we also would play harmonicas in the car. And we used to tease and say my mother carried a lot of tissues, and I think it was, just in case she needed them, but I think really that she probably incognito was putting them in her ears to try to hide out the sounds of everything. She was delightful. We were very fortunate to have great parents.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah.
Do any of your older siblings, do they perform?
They don't.
Really?
We all three play piano, believe it or not.
Okay.
We took piano lessons. But my older sister had a stroke several years ago, which has limited her a little bit. Okay. I'm hoping she goes back to it full-fledged like she used to play. She used to play for all the choirs and things, and she was amazing. Yeah. And my middle sister plays really well as well, and but doesn't play a whole lot unless she might be playing for her grandkids.
Okay.
So I try to keep encouraging them because at one point we would do 3-part harmonies.
I was going to ask you if you did the whole sibling harmonies
we
thing.
did, and a lot of times we would have 4- and 5-part strained harmonies because Mom and Dad would join in. Got it. So when I would go to church on a Christmas Eve service, if one sister was up playing bells or something, my other sister lived in Levittown, I would sit in between my mom and dad, and Mom was about 6 foot. Mom was about 5 foot. Dad was 6'1", and I'd be standing in the middle of them with my hymnal tipped. Yeah. The direction of whoever was looking at the page at the time, and I was listening to my parents, and we would sing 3 parts.
Oh my!
Love that.
Wow. So, so you said you played the piano. What was your first instrument?
Piano was the first instrument.
Okay.
And then I went into, in the fourth grade, you're allowed to choose an instrument. Believe it or not, because I wasn't allowed to choose drums. Nobody was in our family because they thought the neighbors would hate us.
Yeah.
But they said it was okay to play clarinet. So I played clarinet, right? So I played clarinet, and then I went into alto sax and oboe. And then from there, started playing all different stringed instruments. When I was 12, I started playing guitar.
Okay.
And then from then, it was banjo and mandolin and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still play the banjo and mandolin?
I do.
Do you
I always
really?
say I know enough to be dangerous. I play them a lot in the schools.
Okay.
But I would never call myself a Grammy award-winning musician on any of them.
Yeah.
But it's enough to get by and hopefully make it enjoyable in the shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you start writing songs?
Probably early on, but notably, the first time I went in the studio was when I was 12.
Really?
But I think a quick story, I was left behind at a camp because of a typo. True story. And up here at Camp Lycurgus, it was called.
Okay.
And because there was a typo on a postcard that my mother took literally, and actually they were supposed to pick me up on a Saturday, and they were still hanging in Philadelphia on Saturday.
Oh, my
thinking they were going to pick me up Sunday. But the quick of it is, the counselor who stayed behind with me for the 12 extra hours or so till my parents got there was a camp musician. And she really instilled in me songwriting, instilled in me that this can change your life.
Oh, wow.
And at the age of 8, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I was one of those fortunate people that I knew I wanted to do that. I just had to figure out how.
All because of a typo on a card.
Exactly.
Wow.
My mother used to hate that story because she'd say, I'm a terrible parent. And I'd say, no, actually, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And you gave me the gift of knowing who I wanted to be at the age of 8.
Yeah. Lucky you.
Yeah, very fortunate.
Yeah. So you went into your first time in a recording studio was at the age of 12?
Yes.
Oh, you got to tell us that story.
That was fun. Outside of Baltimore. We were visiting my grandparents, and I was writing songs so quickly at that point, as you do, because no one said you can't at that point.
Yeah.
And I kept going, and I would play them for my grandparents, and my mom and dad were there, and sisters. And I remember my grandmother saying to my dad, Tom, why is she not being recorded? And he said, well, we haven't really thought about that. She said, I think I can get you in a studio this weekend. And she did. They made it happen. And I have a little cassette tape of all of that. And
oh, you still have it?
I still have it.
Oh, my gosh.
And for me, it's just so lovely to have. I mean, you hear all of the glitches. You hear all of the, oh, my goodness, I really sounded little.
Yeah.
But I look back and I think that's a base for me now.
Yeah.
And I wasn't afraid back then now I'm very critical of my songwriting. I find, it has to be this or it has to be that. And there's something wonderful about being 12 and naive and just barging in. Yeah. And some of those songs now I'm playing in shows and I've converted them slightly.
Okay. I was going to ask you if you've ever revisited some of those songs.
Yeah. And some of it I've touched, and other parts I've just left and said, I wrote this when I was 12. You just need to hear it at that age, at 12. So I love being this age because now I'm getting into the era of this is who I am. You know, there's something wonderful about that.
I was just at our high school class gets together once a year.
Nice.
It's crazy. But we were doing the old saw, I'd like to be 17 again. I'd like to be 19 again. I said, no, I'm glad I'm at this age.
Me too.
Because I am finally comfortable enough after 61 years on the planet to say, if you don't like it, I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't fault them for not liking me because you can't like everybody.
Right.
And I think, okay, at least I know. And then you spend all your energy on the next person or the next person. And then at least you know. I'm all for straightforwardness. And I do love that. Sometimes when I play for senior audiences, they'll say, I wish you'd play this song. And they don't think I hear, and I hear it. And so the next song, I'll surprise them with that song and now we like her.
That's funny.
So you get that, and that's okay.
Yeah. So it is good to be.
It is.
Yeah. I wouldn't go back to being 17.
No.
Although that's really cool. So you still have the cassette. Have you ever thought about like putting it out?
I haven't, but maybe, who knows, maybe I will.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure that.
It's fun to have. It is. And it's interesting because I remember the headliner song I call it was called My Invisible Friend. And I've told people this, that I don't think it's bad to have an invisible friend.
No.
As a matter of fact, sometimes I talk to nobody, seemingly, in the car because I travel a lot on my own. And it could be my mom or my dad at this point now since they've crossed over. But the good part about having Bluetooth is everyone thinks I'm talking on the phone. I'm really not. But I think I resolve a lot of my issues by saying them out loud to somebody or some it that's there. And I create a lot of music that way. So I readily admit to any young person that's listening, I think it's safe to have an invisible friend. And as long as you have other friends as well.
Yeah. I guess it is easier to have an invisible friend now.
It is.
Because, you just stick a pod or whatever they call it in your ear and they think you're on the phone.
They do. It's great.
Wow.
And what's interesting, when I look back at those lyrics, which I did not long ago, it really talked about who I am today, the yin yang of my life. Because I remember taking a personality test when I was working in my marketing field, which I'd done for a long time in public relations. And my almost boss at that point, who then became my boss, said, "Do you argue with yourself a lot? Because you're right in the middle of being left and right-brained. You are right in the middle. And I keep thinking that you are definitely right-brained, but you have a left side to you that is just arguing with your right one all the time." And I said, "I do." And he said, "You're reasoning all the time. You're over-reasoning to try to combat the creative." And I do that. Yeah. And, but I think it's also prevented me from maybe major embarrassing moments that could have happened, along the way. And it's it doesn't stifle me. I think it's a constant check and balance in my brain, about that. So that invisible friend, even at the age of 12, was rearing its head.
That's funny. That's funny. And it stuck with you all this time?
All these years.
All right. Hey, nothing wrong with that. So you started writing songs at the age of 8. That's incredible.
Yes.
And we just sat down and counted of your CD releases. You're pretty prolific as well. I mean, that's going back how long? How long have you been putting stuff out like this?
Well, I think my first CD came out in 1998.
Okay.
So a bit of time ago.
Yeah.
And
So between 12, walking in the studio for the first time, and I guess for lack of a better term, your first official CD,
that many years.
What led you from that little studio in Baltimore to that? I mean, were you out on the road? Were you?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Quite a bit. Like I said, I started having conventional jobs like most people. Have a degree in marketing and communications. So I worked in marketing and public relations and had what people say a real job. My friend Steve Key has a great song about that. No, this is my real job. Yeah. But I think and then I worked for the Department of Agriculture as their marketing director for the Farm Show Complex and the Department of Agriculture for Pennsylvania. A real honor to do that.
Wow.
And at that point, we worked under Governor Rendell, who had this initiative at the time with us, Department of Ag, that was called Healthy Farms, Healthy Schools. And it really propelled me into doing more kids' music and advocacy for good health and proper eating, proper exercise, not boring stuff, not just nutrition, but how to live a healthy life with your brain as well.
So during this time, you were you combining your music with kind of, for lack of a better term, the day job?
Any chance I got.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, I was asked by several farmers, that's how I ended up working for the Department of Ag, several farmers what songs you have about agriculture. I'm like, very few. Yeah. I'm like, I need to learn. So I took a class called Ag in the Classroom, Agriculture in the Classroom, in which we went to mushroom farms, we went to apple orchards, and during that time I asked all the farmers how they produced what they produced, and then I would do a blow-by-blow description in a humorous way through music. And so the kids would know that a mushroom doesn't like the bright, it likes the dark, it likes slime, it likes... so there's songs about that kids can resonate with. And the same with tree farmers who, it talks all about the different parts of a tree and what we use trees for. So I do a lot of educational music, which I did back then. And then it kind of it sneaked into my marketing job by accident. And when we were going to shift out of that job because of change of governorship, then I ended up doing more of I'm deciding, yes. I had a long conversation with my guidance counselor father, who had become a guidance counselor at that point, and said, I think I'm going to quit this job and I think I'm going to go into full-time music. And there's dead silence. And he said, what's your plan? And I'm talking on the phone all the way back from Harrisburg. Yeah. What's your plan? I would tell him the plan. He'd say, okay, if that fails, what's the next plan? And I'd give him another plan. He'd say, okay, if that doesn't work out, what's your next plan? And I think about Plan G or somewhere around there. He one day said to me, this was over a period of several days, he said, I think you're ready. Go for it.
Wow.
And he said, because you will fail. There will be times and moments you're going to stop and say, and it's not because I don't love you that I'm saying this. He said, I'm saying this because I do love you. Yeah. Prepare. You know, you can wing things in life, but you have to have some sort of base on the bottom as well in order so you don't look like a complete paintball, you know, shooting everywhere.
Yeah, got it. So it was about the time that you were working for the Department of Ag and kind of doing some outreach. Like, now, was the outreach via farms to kids? I mean,
it was at that point, but it was also to adults.
Okay.
We were facing a lot of housing developments that are coming in, encroaching on farms.
Right.
So it became a little bit political, which is the first side of that I'd seen, really.
Oh, wow.
So it was interesting to see that and realize that my music could make a difference, that they wouldn't speak to a talking head in a microphone, but they might listen to a person that sang it.
You know, that's an interesting perspective, because there's a lot of people that say, the old saw, just shut up and sing. But really, I think with some parts of politics that it does take that an artist that's more approachable than, say, like a politician or something.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think people get tired of just hearing the talking heads, I say. And I love the band talking heads.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, as far as the person who stands behind the microphone and just says, wah, 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 kind of reminds you of, Linus and Charlie Brown and all of that.
Yeah.
But I think when they approach it in a different way, they hear something different. And I'm not saying that they always have to believe in everything I'm saying.
Right.
I just want them to have pause and think, what are they believing in?
Yeah.
What is enough in their head to stand up for? Yeah. And how can they go about it in their lives?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole lot more to you than
Oh.
Yeah. Wow. This is amazing. It's the reason I love doing these, because I get to learn about, these people that I've met over the years, but it's like, wow, you get to really know somebody when you sit down and do
Likewise.
it.
Thank you.
So you shared with us an album. Agriculture is a big word. And there's a song on there called Trees. As I said, there's no script, so we're gonna plug this song in right now. Okay. Set this up for us.
Well, we had a tree farmer that said to me when I worked for the Department of Agriculture, "What do you know about trees?" I said, "Everybody knows about trees. You climb them, but how do you know? What do you know about growing them?" And I'm like, I don't know. And so,
well, they just grow.
They just grow. They just happen to grow.
Just happen.
And when you're a little kid, you plant a tree and you don't really pay attention. You just walk away, and then it takes being older to look back and appreciate a tree, because you know what age you were when you planted it. You realize how much life has gone by between that planting. And it's very symbolic in a way. And that's what the song stresses about at the end, because it talks about, I've planted many trees for very special days. My yard's so filled with trees of every kind. Yeah. And it talks about every kind. And I get goosebumps because the other world is saying that's so true. Yeah. It is something about the time that it takes to grow a tree, as it turns out, my favorite all-time book is The Giving Tree. The Giving Tree.
The Giving Tree,
right.
Shel Silverstein.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love The Giving Tree, and I love all it has to say. Yeah. And it's so true. It gives us so much, and we forget the most simple of the oxygen that we always forget that tree gives us, which is life. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah. So to do that, I was thrilled that I could write a song about that, and then others along the way. And it's kind of instructional as well.
Yeah. Okay. There's an old proverb that says there no one has such faith as an old man that plants a small tree.
So true.
Yeah. I was like,
love that.
That's pretty profound. So we're going to listen to Trees by KJ off her album, Agriculture is a Big Word. And if you have this album, on the back of it, there's a picture of a rapturous KJ in a classroom. And it's just, when I picture her, it's with a big smile on her face. And, so Trees by KJ. And we'll be back right after this on the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast.
Just a girl, I stayed there all the time, nestled in as quiet as could be. The leaves would make it cold beneath the setting sun. I knew it was a special place for me. Trees, trees, what do you think of trees? Plants them and they give us oxygen to breathe. Trees, trees, what do you think of trees? Go out and get a shovel and plant some trees, please. They start with just some roots that work into the ground. The rain and sun together make them grow. They give us tasty fruit and leaves are pretty green. Oh, so many things that you should know. Trees, trees, what do you think of trees? Plant them and they give us oxygen to breathe. Trees, trees, what do you think of trees? Go out and get a shovel and plant some trees, please. They give me lots of shade, hide me from the wind, keep the noise away to help me sleep. They keep the precious soil from eroding there below. There are many, many kinds of awesome trees. You can make a great canoe or build a ladder high, create a pretty house that you can live in. You can make a rocking chair for Granddad when he's old. All of this is from the wood the trees bend. Trees, trees, what do you think of trees? Plant them and they give us oxygen to breathe. Trees, trees, what do you think of trees? Go out and get a shovel and plant some trees, please. Every year or so, I'll look out on the lawn and celebrate the passing of the time. I planted many trees for very special days. My yard's so filled with trees of every kind. Trees, 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 what do you think of trees? Plant them and they give us oxygen to breathe. Trees, 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 what do you think of trees? Go out and get a shovel and plant some trees, please. Spruce, oak, willow and pine, I love these trees, can they be mine? Maple, ash, aspen, beech, oh, I love Pennsylvania's trees. Oh, trees, 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 what do you think of trees? Plant them and they give us oxygen to breathe. Trees, 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 what do you think of trees? Get out and get a shovel and plant some trees, please.
Trees, Trees off her album Agriculture is a big word. And when you were working for the Department of Ag, kind of working the music in, obviously you didn't just stay like in Harrisburg. You travel all through the state, the Commonwealth?
Yes, I did.
Really?
I was fortunate to do that.
Really? Were you like doing, so tell me how that was. Were you doing like concerts? Were you doing like house concerts?
With the Department of Agriculture work, that was mostly daytime and some evening meetings I'd go to. Mm-hmm. And I'd, oh, by the way, bring my guitar. So I would speak about that. I'd bring my guitar. And so we would have a dual KJ. I would talk about the latest issues for the Department of Agriculture, but I would also sing what was happening. So it was really fun to get into that. And then during the day, many times when we had this Healthy Farms, Healthy Schools initiative, my friend Kimbo Reichley and I would travel. And we always teased him as him being my bodyguard in some of the really not so lovely places. We actually would go into the classrooms together and we would do songs all about agriculture and bringing it to urban. And that's when they started to create a lot of the urban gardens in the schools, because a lot of the songs I'd written were about, farmland. And as soon as we got there, we thought they don't even have a backyard with a school. Yeah. They have potholes and they have macadam that's all ripped up and the kids can't even play on it. Yeah. So little by little, I think things were shifting, which was great. And they were creating urban gardens and the kids were starting to understand that. And we were starting to write music appropriately for that.
Wow. Okay.
So they were teaching us. Yeah. And that's the best part about life.
Yeah. Well, it's the best part about travel too, because, you get into your little bubble of, Williamsport, Mifflinburg and that, right. And there's a whole nother world out there, whether it's, across the other side of the globe or across the other side of the state.
Exactly. When I was a little girl, we traveled all the time. One of the things my grandmother always said was to our parents, get the girls a passport as passport as soon as possible, because we, as a rule, don't have right to criticize other countries unless we've set foot on their soil.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
So I was really glad to have passport early, and I've traveled all my life. I've traveled a lot, and especially with music over the last, 30 years now.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So, because I know that you've toured over to Ireland, England,
And
Scotland, and that. Yeah. So I'll pin you down. Where have you enjoyed the most?
Scotland. Hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all the other countries I've played in, but I have to admit there's something, my great-grandmother was a fiddler from outside of Glasgow. And so we found that. So she dabbled in that. So I've been trying to do some research about her. And she and my great granddad met on the boat coming over. He was from Ireland, and they met there and came over, and on my mom's side. And so I think when I went back to Scotland, I remember calling my sister from a payphone over there, and I asked her, did a plane go down? And she said, no, why? I said, because I'm dead, and this is heaven for sure. And I really meant it. I said, I've been here before.
Yeah.
I've been here before. Yeah. And it has always felt like home. I've written a song called Home in Scotland, which we may play later, that has to do with that feeling of finally finding home. Yeah. I think everyone will feel that eventually if you go to the right place.
Yeah.
It may not be the town in which you live now.
So here's my question: as somebody that's visited Scotland as well, did you buy a set of bagpipes?
No.
You can't.
I like my friends too much.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
You cannot go into a store, just like a shop or a bagpipe, and just buy bagpipes.
No.
Yeah. You have to actually prove to them that you can play a bagpipe.
You're right.
I tried to do that, and the guy gave me a chanter.
Yes.
He gave it to me. I
tried this first.
Yeah, I've lost it. I wish I would have kept it. This was, in the early, almost the mid '80s, I think, was when I went to Edinburgh, and I wanted to buy a bagpipe. And he said, you cannot buy a bagpipe, lad. He said, but take this. And he said, when you can play this, he said, come back.
Very true. They take that seriously.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm really glad, because they don't like to be made fun of. A lot of Americans will make fun of closing their ears to bagpipes. Yeah. And they take that very seriously over there. And I'm glad they do.
Yeah. At the time, I was like, but as I'm older, it's like,
they do. That's their tradition.
Yeah.
And they've led, we've used it a lot for the end of people's lives, obviously. You see that a lot, especially with police officers and using that, and firefighters. But they've taken it seriously to go into war with. I mean, they've used it for so many things that they don't like to be mocked about it.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
It's very true.
There was, I was at Randolph Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. And it was out running one morning at like 5 a.m, and off in the distance across the flight line, there's a bagpipe player. Every morning we were out running. I'd never found out where this person was, why they were playing a bagpipe at 5 a.m, but almost every morning they're out there playing, and it was really good. I don't know.
Love that.
Yeah.
There's something very special about that country.
Yeah.
Although I do love every country I've ever been to, because they all have something very unique to them.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to find the right people to explain what that is.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you just come in as a tourist, I think we're at fault many times as people, especially Americans, who come in and they want to plant themselves as a tourist and only go to where the tourists go. And I said, that's your first mistake. You need to veer off that major road, and you definitely need to go into a mom and pop restaurant that they have there, and you need to sit there with the locals, and you need to listen to what they're saying and quit being the voice in the room.
Right.
Sit back and be the listener in the room. Yeah. And that's when you meet everyone, and everyone is willing to help you.
And they're so nice.
They are.
I remember being in Scotland, and we were a bunch of service, because I was in the military at the time. And this was early 80s, and men and women would still come up and buy you drinks because you helped them win the war.
Exactly.
It's like, no.
Yes. No, but that's wonderful.
They're just so gracious, for the most part. And it is beautiful. I mean, it just looks like somebody just laid green velvet over it.
It is, isn't it? Oh, gosh. It is. Yeah. You just arrive there, and yet their lives have not been easy necessarily either.
Right.
And a lot of people think they just go there and again, I'm not mocking Americans, because I love being in one. But a lot of times the Americans will go over there and they'll just assume that they know how to drive well over there, and they don't. and then they complain about the roundabouts that they have over there, but they know how to navigate those, and they know how to navigate a steering wheel on the opposite side, and then going on the opposite side of the road. And Americans go in there very headstrong, like, I can do this. And we're like, there have been so many accidents created by Americans over there that we just need to be a bit more humble and say, okay, let's take this easy. Can you show us how it's done?
Yeah. No, we would never do that. We used to go to London and play Spot the American.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. And
it's true. And again, we love being American, don't we?
Exactly. Same here.
But we just want to step back and say, sometimes humble pie is a good thing.
Bingo. Yeah. So you have a song called, and I don't know why I have trouble getting around Celtic and Scottish words.
That's okay. This Dahlgren.
Dahlgren Road.
Right. The accent's on the second syllable. Dahlgren.
Okay. Yeah. See, it's my Pennsylvania public education.
It's all fine. Dahlgren Road.
Yeah.
It was one of the very special places for me. I settle when I go there. I hang out in a place called Dunkeld, Scotland, which is right across the interchange from them, the A9. And I just fell in love with the place. It's Beatrice Potter also had a little summer getaway there where she buried all of her former animals. Right around the Dahlgren. And it became such a beautiful road to me that you could see the farmers at work, and you could see the townspeople that are venturing out to visit their neighbors out in that so-called country of Dahlgren, but different, that it just became so peaceful for me because I was at that point going everywhere and running nonstop. Yeah. And so the song talks about that. I'm even using a rain stick in it because it was raining that particular day and I wanted to capture that.
Oh,
and that's the best instrument I could find was to recapture that moment.
I read the liner notes to this, and I can't remember where did you record this album? Dreaming Inside.
That was at Kimbo Reichley's studio.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah.
Yes, I've been blessed to have different places to record, including Woody Wolf, an earlier project manager for me too.
Oh yeah.
I did work there and a lot with Kimbo Reichley too.
Yeah. This album, he does good stuff, but this album sounds so great. And
thank you.
So Dahlgren Road, we're gonna listen to that, and then we're gonna come back and chat a little bit more with the delightful KJ. So Dahlgren Road here on the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast.
Wonders if her heart can hold another feeling more. So she stands along Dahlgren Road. Standing on Dahlgren Road, the pink hues of wildfire, rambling hillsides, nature's own choir. Back the road in years when life simply went along, to hear a distant tune that everyone would sing along. But what she'd give to wander there and stay her whole life long. So she stands along Dahlgren Road. Standing on Dahlgren Road, the sun brings the morning. Another town is waiting. Oh, she heeds to warning.
Dahlgren Road. See, I got it that time. And that was recorded up at Kimbo's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is you've worked with Kimbo. What an interesting guy in an interesting studio.
Yes. Great. Very relaxing.
It is very relaxing.
Which is what I love.
We were just talking about that with Rebecca Jade last night. She worked with, you worked with Leo.
Yes,
you worked with
absolutely.
Leo Armbruster on both of his projects, the Ale
Very
House
honored.
Floors, and yeah, I know. How do you get that gig? You know?
He's delightful.
He is.
He's a pollinator. I've always called him that. He brings he spreads his music out to everybody, and everybody wants to hang out with Leo.
Yeah,
and it's wonderful.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But Rebecca and I were talking about Kimbo's. The first time I'd ever walked into a studio was not when I was 12 years old. It was when I was 55 years old. And I walked into Kimbo's with Bruce Barr.
Yes.
And
good
yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah. So first of all, as we talked offline, name dropping is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I do it. So I walked in there and I'm scared, but now Bruce is a hard taskmaster, I will say. I've still got marks on my wrist where he was watching me with the ruler learning to play reggae. But Kimbo was so gracious in that. I mean, I'm a neophyte, much like you.
We all, I was going to say, we all are.
Well, no. I mean, he was such an encourager like you that, it was just so easy to work with.
He's wonderful to work with.
He is a great guy to work with. So you've worked with Kimbo, you have worked with Leo, you've worked with Bruce.
I have.
So
fortunate.
We are very fortunate here. And I don't know if we talked about this offline or if it was during the recording, but we're going to say it again. We are rarely blessed in this area to have the swath of talent, the swath of genres, and just the recording studios.
Yes.
I mean, we have you can't swing a baseball bat, as you said, without knocking a good recording studio.
That's
over.
really true. We're so fortunate. And what I love is, like we were saying earlier, we all encourage one another. It's a healthy competition, I call it.
Yeah.
You have to have a bit of the edge of that, or you just don't get out and do this every day.
Right.
But at the same time, you're quickly humbled when you listen to someone else. You're like, oh, I like this about their set. I probably would do this different about their set, but I would do this and I would do this. And it's so wonderful to be able to see all this talent in this area that you get a chance to really learn every day from somebody.
Yeah,
it's right here.
And not only just the talent, but just I hate the word genre because I think it pigeonholes. But we have Celtic bands here in this area. We have a ska band. We have a lot of country bands. We have a lot of cover bands. But we have it's just. I said if you want a genre in this area,
it's here.
It's here somewhere.
I believe that too.
Americana kind of jug band. John Sweeney,
Yes,
John
sure.
does
Another good guy.
Yeah, the jug band that he has. I mean, it's just amazing here. And you've worked with a lot. I mean, we mentioned Kimbo, we mentioned Leo. Who else have you had the pleasure?
When I first started out in the area, it was Woody Wolf. Woody and I did a lot of work, and he traveled an awful lot together. I've played with a guy in Texas, Brian Kalanick, a lot. I play with a lot of my Scotland and England friends. But we also have a band that's called KJ and the Funshine Band instead of Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Yes.
With Sean Madden and Tim Latshaw.
Yeah.
And Tim and I have spun off into a duo that is TL and KJ because we do a lot of Carole King, James Taylor kind of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And then I was playing with Joey DeChristopher and Henry Koretsky and a guy named Tom Mattern and just wonderful people from the band. Girlfriend Night was actually taken with that band. And we had a wonderful time all playing together in a suite, Nothing's band. And prior to that, I played with Sweetwater Reunion. And I said there for a while, I couldn't get away from the sweets, with all the sweet. And we loved it. We were making jokes of it all the time. And I said, how lucky am I? And there are people out there, the Hop High Ladies. I played with them for a while. And we were just so blessed to have. And then, then with the Bonnie Wickers and the... so many names, Sabrina Kirby and Jenna Gillis Rosencrantz, so many people, so many that I never like to name drop because I'm going to forget. Yeah. And I've had a chance to work with even the old John Denver band. And when I play with them, because I met them in Aspen, Colorado, and I play with them. And so depending on where you are, you're affected by so many people and your bandmates at the time. You continue to learn from them. I'm always humbled, and I always love to surround myself with people better than I am.
Yes.
It raises the bar for me every time.
And for somebody like me, that's easy because everybody's better than I am. Now let's back up because I can't let's upset you. Worked with the John Denver band.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, got to tell us that story.
Oh, it's great. Well, I was playing in Aspen, and a guy walked over to me and he said, "I hope you play that thing well because it looks like you're playing it for a few hours." And he had a great sense of humor. After a bit of conversation, he said his name is Steve. I said, "So nice to meet you, Steve." And he said, "Yeah, my name's Steve Weisberg." And he said, "Please come to the Limelight Hotel lobby tonight because there's a bunch of us singing there tonight." I'm like, "Okay, that's great." And as soon as he said Weisberg, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's John Denver's lead guitar player."
Yeah.
And I sat in front of him for many a concert at the Spectrum. And I thought, So of course I showed up that night, and it was delightful. And in that room was John Summers, who wrote, Thank God I'm a Country Boy. Jim Connor was there, who wrote Grandma's Featherbed. And this is no pun intended, but John Denver's pilot, his original pilot, was there. His mother was there. His brother was there. They were having just to get together. And Steve asked me, he said, "When we do tribute shows, would you like to go out on the road with any or all of us?" And I said, "Yes."
Wow.
And that started a wonderful relationship I had, especially with Steve for a number of years. So we lost him to cancer. Yeah. And I visit John Summers every time I'm out in LA area. Oh, wow. And Jim Connor and I keep in touch all the time. And cool. We've just had such a great time. But I've gone out with Ted Vigil and Chris Collins, both tribute artists, Mark Cormigan, all tribute artists. And
wow.
Lucky enough to be on their stages to sing with them.
Oh wow!
So
what a great story!
It's wonderful. They are delightful,
wow.
And wonderfully humble people who taught you that it's not all about you on stage. It's always about the audience. Yeah. Always keep that in mind.
Yeah,
they were as humble as could be.
Yeah, that's good advice.
It is good advice.
It is very.
And
they're
good absolutely
advice.
Right.
So you've played in Aspen. I mean, so you have played a lot, not just.
I love what I get to do.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no day that's the same. I could do a nursery school in the morning and play for a college class in the afternoon, play for a senior center, play for a banquet in the evening, play for festivals, churches, everything. I don't often say no because every audience has something to offer.
Wow.
And I am the humble one. I am learning from them all the time.
This is why you're such a great person.
I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I pay tribute to everyone I've met.
Yeah. What's your favorite venue, type of audience? What's your favorite?
It's funny. It just depends on the day. What do they say? Pick your favorite child? I'm not sure you can.
Yeah.
Everything has added meaning, even the most difficult ones.
Yeah.
I have to admit, the older I get, I like the convenient ones where that somebody has a sound system set up when you walk in the door.
Yeah.
They are my favorites only because they're most convenient. Yeah. And I have to admit that this body's getting a little weary. But I think it depends on the day. I get something from everyone. I've started using this little light of mine, not as a song from church, but as a song I play for all ages. And here's why. People always think the grass is greener, and it's really not. It's just finally recognizing what your life is about and why are you here? What's your purpose? It doesn't have to be this monumental thing of, purpose has to be this biblical sense. It doesn't. It has to be, why are you here? What makes you happy? What's your bliss? Yeah. When I see that in the audience, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
There's nothing like connecting that. I call it the reciprocity of live performance, where your energy's bouncing off them, that their energy's bouncing off you.
Yes.
And you hit that sweet spot like the old game of Pong where you could hit the ball back and forth between the two. Oh,
that's what it is all night, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you get that, you go home and they could have paid you $0. Exactly. And luckily they have paid you well, but they've paid you in your head. You're thinking, I would have come for free on that one.
Yeah. It's just like, when I used to play golf, the very last hole you'd hit a center drive. And I said, this is what keeps you coming back.
Yes.
And it's that, for all the, and you do remember the miserable gigs, but the ones where you just
But you
connect.
even learn from the miserable ones.
Exactly.
And for me, I credit me in not a good way because maybe I didn't ask the right questions. I had a great boss named Rick Gathman who always said, in order to get the right answers, you need to learn to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
And that's so true. And so often we as humans will blame other people for that when actually you need to look in and say, that bad gig may not have been that bad had I known this happened, and I need to ask those questions ahead of time. And so I've written those down, saying, okay, is there a game plan that is not just in a tin can roof, that rain is going to hit anyway and be annoying?
Yeah.
What is the game plan that we have for that? Let's work together on that. It's a together thing.
Exactly.
We shouldn't be blaming the people for our bad gigs. It's because I didn't ask the right questions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
that.
you got it figured out.
Yeah, right.
Life, yeah. So we're gonna do another song. This is "Home in Scotland," and I had the pleasure of seeing you perform this at the Songwriter Showcase that Jim Colbert put together in June
at the Arts Fest.
At the Arts Fest, well, that was like, those are my favorites. Is just going in and playing original songs, but that was just a perfect day.
It was.
Yeah.
The weather was perfect.
Except that damn bug.
The audience. Oh, we did have a bug that I swallowed.
Yeah, I know.
True. And then I was stunned for a while. That's true.
Yeah.
That happens. But you just have to roll with it.
You did. It was a great, other than the dang bug, it was a great day. And for me, it wasn't full circle, but it was a nice epilogue to the first time I got to share a stage with you when I was,
you were amazing.
It's
amazing.
like, man,
both times you're amazing.
No, but it's like, oh, now I'm writing songs. I can play my own songs in front of all these people. But what a great day.
It's fun. When I first started doing shows like that, I would be a bit intimidated, I have to admit, thinking, oh, this person's been a greater songwriter than me, and they've written this way. And now what I love is embracing the differences in all of us. Yeah. And I think, oh, I could use that bit of technique that I've not even thought of before. And you credit each person for that, don't you? Yeah. I love those.
Yeah.
Love those.
And it just, to me, when I go out and see somebody like you or Jim Colbert, and I listen to their songs, like, okay, you've moved the bar up. I don't know that I'll reach it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know but I don't know that I'll reach it, but it's something for me to
and we're all different, aren't we?
Yeah.
But we're all different. You might have a line that I think, oh my gosh, this is a great line. Can I incorporate part of that line into a song that I have an idea I have? Yeah. That's what I love. I think it's the borrowing of ideas. Yeah. And to me, it's the whole blending of it that gets so exciting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all music comes from, the
it's the air.
Well, not only that, but also just the cultures.
It is the cultures. But I've often told people, they'll say, how did you come up with that idea? I'm like, I don't know. I think I was gifted it.
Yeah.
And the music comes through us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily I'm in charge of the song. I think the universe is created for me, and I just happen to be the messenger.
Right. Yeah.
Aren't we the lucky ones?
We'll just nick a line, though, from somebody.
Exactly.
So, speaking of cultures that we've been influenced by, obviously Scotland is very entrenched in your persona, and lack of a better term, I guess, you think a lot of your time in Scotland. So we're going to do a song that, this is how I am, is I make a point, I circle back to it. So I saw you do this song at the Songwriter Showcase in State College, and it's a good sing-along song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love sing-along songs.
Yeah.
Pete Seeger taught me well with that.
Yes, he did. He taught us all about that. And again, that when you have a song like that and it's yours, and they sing along with you, that's what keeps you coming back.
It is.
Yeah.
When I first wrote that, my first Scottish audience sang it with me. I cried.
Oh, no doubt.
I wrote it the same day as I played it, the first night. And it was played, it was Doogie McLean's club. And Doogie is like James Taylor is to America.
Okay.
And Doogie happened to be at the club that night, which is very wonderful.
Wow.
And we recorded the very next day. But I had human music stand holders. That's what they called themselves, because I didn't have one and I didn't expect to write something. And I wrote it for them. Oh, wow. And they were all teared up, and we were just meeting for the first time, seemingly. And yet we all felt like we had known each other in a different life. And I know it sounds hokey, but it's so true. Yeah. And it was all the cylinders were working that night, and it was wonderful. And they all sang with me, and I turned it over to them. And then they sang the chorus by themselves. And I just cried, and they cried, and we all hugged each other afterward and said, "We're in this lifetime together, aren't we?" And they said, "Yes." Oh, wow. And they believe in full circle of life. Yeah. If you ever see all the circles that go along in the Celtic, they believe in that. And so you do feel like you're a part of that magical circle.
Yeah. And, hopefully we're doing that here in this area with supporting each other. So, without further ado, let's listen to Home in Scotland by KJ here on the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast.
Walking here from the station with the moon up above, I arrived here in town last night. And as I stood in the doorway and heard each voice ring, my decision was right, 'cause I'm home, yes I'm home, in Scotland here I'm home, in this real music bar, you can follow your star, in Scotland here I'm home, in this town of from the noise, there's a pure sense of pride for the land. It's as if the town's marked to be special somehow, to be blessed by a true angel's hand. 'Cause I'm home, yes I'm home, in Scotland here I'm home, in this real music bar, you can follow your star,
Home in Scotland. And I just love the story about, you wrote that the day that you performed it the first time. Wow. When was that? What?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to say back 2000, I think. Might have been 2000.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a few years ago.
Yeah.
No,
it's hard to, I mean, because people think, say, oh, well, 20 years ago. And I'm one of these guys that's thinking, 1980. No, it's 2000 is 20 years ago. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So
I was very fortunate. I could see the Loch Tay, River Tay.
Yeah.
And it just felt like I was home.
Wow.
So it came really quickly to me.
Yeah. Would you move there? Would you like full-time it there?
Sometimes I have thought about that.
Really?
It's not exactly inexpensive to live there,
no
especially in Dunkeld, which is where I want to be.
Yeah.
But I sure love visiting as often as I can.
Yeah. And you tour over there, like playing music. I mean,
Yes.
that you go, wow.
Yeah, I go all over, which is wonderful. It is nice. It's also nice that this last time we had a flat. I traveled with my best friend from Philadelphia came with us, as well as Brian Kalanick, my music partner from Texas. Yeah. And he's traveled there before. But I told them, I said, we should have stayed longer at the flat that we had in Dunkeld because that's when I felt the most serene. And it just felt great. So next time I'm going to do the same thing and just rent the same place.
Yeah. And we had talked about this before. You just appreciate, and you appreciate where you travel.
I hope so.
You appreciate the people there, but it also gives you a fondness and an appreciation of what you have at home as well.
Absolutely. We love Central Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It's beautiful here.
It is, especially on a day like today.
Absolutely. Sitting out in this garden is amazing.
This is
makes me think of Scotland here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In the middle of a old pajama factory.
Yes. It's beautiful in this courtyard.
See, again, this is why, how could you have a bad day hanging out with you?
Oh, no. I'm sure other people can tell you that.
Well, I never have. I've never had a bad day hanging out with you. There is, apart from the music stuff, there is a lot, we have a lot of really good restaurants in this area. We have a lot of, if you're inclined, a lot of good brew pubs, wineries. When I retired here, I didn't realize there were so many darn wineries around here.
And they have been so welcome to me, musicians. And, we were saying, too, that here's a shout out to a lot of my musician friends. And I think most of them will realize this. But we are working together with them. And how wonderful that is.
Yes.
It's not about, they have to have music here. They don't. They don't have to choose that. And they do choose to have us come. And a shout out to all of these entrepreneurs out there, because we're honored to work with you, wineries. We are.
The wineries, the brew pubs, the restaurants.
They've been very kind. They've been developing patio music.
Yes.
On a lot of places that never had patios before.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's one thing that we don't give enough credit to. We talk about the musicians, but the venues.
Oh, they're incredible people.
They are.
Huge shout out to them because they don't have to have us, and they do.
Yes.
They choose to say yes.
Now, this week, I think every place that can have live music, though, is having live music.
You're right.
because it's the middle of Little League here in Williamsport.
It's great. I love to feel that energy here.
I know. Yeah, I was downtown last night after the radio show. Went down to see Alan Colmes and Tanner Bingman.
Yeah.
Tangier, have you seen them?
They're incredible too.
Oh my gosh,
they are.
And
they're also musicians with other people, which is great.
Yeah,
I love that. I love how it splinters out and then comes back again.
But not only that, but also they're just two really great guys. I mean, they're just so. But it was nice because the kids were still in kind of like their little uniform T-shirts, and the parents. There was somebody from Las Vegas. There was a group of people from Las Vegas. There was a group of people from. I think there was somebody from Japan. I think there was a Japanese family there.
Isn't it great to get everyone together?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So again,
peace on earth, right here.
Right. And they're coming here, and maybe they'll take away something from here that you took away from Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I loved it here. We had two folks. The last time our band played at Barrel 135, we had two people from the Netherlands in the audience.
Oh, great!
Oh my gosh! And they hung out as we were tearing down. They hung out and chatted with us. And they said, "We love Williamsport." Well, thank you.
And that's what it should be about, shouldn't it be?
Yeah.
And you learned so much from them too while they were here.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It's the give and take.
Yep.
And we shouldn't, as humans, we should not be afraid to delve in and ask some questions.
Yeah.
I'm really sounding old. We are human encyclopedias.
Yeah.
We're human internet. We really are. We're right here.
Right.
We can answer questions all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just don't be afraid to ask.
Right. So as we kind of wrap things up here, we usually do a rig rundown. So what's your primary your primary stage, because you're primarily guitarist.
Primary guitarist,
Okay.
right.
What's your primary or your go-to guitar?
Right now, it shifts, but right now I'm playing my Taylor 814, which is one of my favorites.
Cutaway or no cutaway?
Cutaway.
Ooh,
And I
yes.
got it right here at Robert Size, although I frequent a lot of my friends here in other music stores as well,
Yeah.
you know. But that one I happened to buy a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and Brian Noakers fixed it so many times because it's needed it, which has been delightful every time.
Wait a minute. Wait. So Brian's fixing your guitar because you don't strike me as like a heavy percussive or a Pete Townsend kind of player or anything.
But I tend to play up high, especially when I play along with Tim, because I use a cape up really high, and so I bruise a lot of those frets.
Okay.
And so the action needs adjusted quite a bit.
Okay.
And there are times that I've played it in the hot sun, and I've played it in miserable weather, and so it has enough little cracks in it that reminds me that it's still in charge.
Yeah.
So I get it babied. I take it to the spa at Brian's, and he'll fix it for me, which is very nice.
Yeah.
And but I have other instruments I play. The Applebaum family donated a guitar to me, which I absolutely love. This beautiful signature Martin that I play, that parlor guitar. Had another gentleman, Will, who used to see me at Country Cupboard. When he passed, he donated his guitar to me.
Oh my God.
There's certain instruments that just mean so much to me, and I'm absolutely moved that people would think to offer me that as a thank you. Those are the things that get to me. I have my very first guitar I still play.
You said so. The first guitar you got when you were 8.
Yeah, when I was 12, I got that guitar.
Oh, okay.
And it
All
was a
right.
Kent guitar my mom and dad gave me,
remember
gave
those.
us, my sisters and me. I stole it. I kept it in my room because I loved it.
And you still have it.
I still have it, and I play that
Does your
from
sister
time
want
to
it back?
time. Both sisters would like it back. I said maybe someday.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm in my 60s now, so I'm not sure when someday's going to happen. I keep that a lot. My former husband gifted me a guitar. It's beautiful. It's a guitar from Korea, which I absolutely love. A Vantage guitar. I've got lots of them. I shouldn't even admit that. But
How many do you have?
I don't count. I don't want to
Oh,
count.
come on. More than 10?
No, probably within that range. But,
Okay, all right.
But that's reasonable. But it's interesting.
So KJ's a gearhead. We've learned that. I didn't know that. I really thought that she would say, "I really."
They all have
it's
a
just what-
voice.
It's
They all have a voice, don't they?
yeah.
They do.
I'll admit, I have over 15 guitars,
Okay.
banjos, and
I
that.
don't feel so bad. Yeah, we're
well-
not talking other instruments here.
Well, I always say that I have more guitars than talent. But my wife will say, "Why do you have so many?" I said, "Well, you don't play golf with one club."
Exactly. They all have a purpose. They
Yeah.
all have a sound.
Yes.
You know, I used to tell people that if you're going to date a musician, first of all, go with them to a music store, and then you're going to decide if you like them or not, because they're going to spend a lot of time in the music store. And
Yeah.
please be with them on that, because it's picking up. It's trying to meet your perfect friend,
Yeah.
and it's picking up a guitar. No, that's not quite right. Picking up this doesn't quite feel right.
Yeah.
Doesn't hug the same way.
Yep.
It doesn't. There's something in an instrument that you have to take your time
Yeah.
and develop. And like you shared with me earlier, sometimes you grow into them as well,
Yeah.
and then they open up just for you.
Yeah.
That's when it's great.
Yeah. The other question I like to ask musicians is there one piece of equipment, guitar, whatever, that got away that you would want back? I got her
I had a
stumped.
12-string guitar that I had to sell when I transitioned out of marriage, and that was hard. I needed the money at the time, and I'm glad someone else is enjoying it. But I pined for that one.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
kind was it?
That was actually an Ovation,
Oh.
believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
12-string.
Oh, my.
But I loved it, and I don't get Ovations very often.
Yeah.
But that one I loved.
Oh, wow.
And it even had all of the track marks of where everything was I played on it. You know, it had my signature on it. But it hopefully went to a good home.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's okay.
yeah.
Life happens.
It does, yeah. One thing we didn't talk about that maybe we'll kind of wrap it up here is your songwriting. How do you approach it? Is it? You had mentioned before that sometimes it's just a gift.
It is. It comes through you.
So how does that process work for you?
I've found that the songs that have been the best of mine, if I can say that, are the ones that do come through me. I think that I'm not in charge, and I just let them go.
Yeah.
You might tweak a word or so, but you just know in 5 minutes, that's it.
Yeah.
There's enough to said at that point. I think the ones that sometimes I'm commissioned to write songs for people or for organizations, and those are the hardest ones for me sometimes because I literally will need to go to that place. I need to be in that space. Oh, wow. I can't just write it from afar. I have to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm honored to do that, but they might not be my best pieces.
Yeah.
You know.
And you collaborate because you've ran through a bunch of your collaborations in that. Do you collaborate with songwriters?
I do.
Yeah.
From time to time.
Okay.
And I'm honored to do so. I pick up something from everybody.
Yeah.
Jim Colbert and I were just talking that we're writing a song right now, trying to put something together shortly.
That would be so good because you guys, I think you guys, yeah. Oh, okay, good.
But
That's
sure,
good to
I'm
hear.
always open to that. I always get great ideas from people, and I'm honored that to be asked.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is cool.
absolutely honored.
Who's the coolest collaboration that you've had?
Lots of them.
Yeah.
Steve Weisberg and I did. One that we'll be doing here shortly was the unknown collaborator.
Yeah.
Was one of my favorites was Tug McGraw. McGraw.
Now hold on. The Tug McGraw.
The Tug McGraw baseball player, not Tim McGraw songwriter.
Right. But they're related, aren't they?
Father son.
That's right.
Yeah, but Tug didn't know about Tim for a long time.
Yeah.
And so it became a later on in life kind of wonderful relationship they had. And unfortunately, Tug was taken from us too soon with brain cancer.
Yeah.
But I met Tug when I was up in this area in Bloomsburg. He came to work with Camp Victory kids. We had some socially challenged boys who were dealing with a lot of street issues. And then we wanted to work with Tug. And at the end of the session with him, he said, I love working with you because he said, you have a website, KJ Smile. You smile a lot. And I said, I've been very honored to do that. And he said, well, my campaign. And I said, you got to believe. And he said, yes. I said, Dad and I followed you from the Mets to the Phillies. We sat behind you. And I said, Dad and I always believed in that positivity of life. My whole family did. Yeah. And I was lucky to be born into a positive family. I said, you changed more in my life through your campaign of You Gotta Believe than even your baseball skills. And I'm a fast pitch softball player. I said, so that speaks volumes. So when I got my dad together with Tug for the very first time, my dad had no idea that I knew him and was blown away. And I said, and Dad said the same thing, you got to believe, Tug, you got to believe. So Tug and I wrote a song called You Gotta Believe. And that is one of my favorite songs that's sung all over by students, by adults now, by churches, because it now has become them. And Tug is alive and well through the song You Gotta Believe.
Yeah.
So that's probably been one of my favorite songwriters and most unexpected songwriters.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. Very fortunate.
Yeah.
So everything presents itself. You just have to be open to it, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Like this today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're going to play out with You Gotta Believe, written by KJ and Tug McGraw. I mean, that's just you've made it as a musician and as a songwriter when you get to collaborate with a baseball player. I mean, that's just like so dang cool.
Thank you. I'm the fortunate one, and it's not even about the rising starism with me. It's about the like minds of positivity, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're open to positives, they just enter. Yeah. When you least expect them. If you close off, and that's exactly what the song says. And Tug and I even caved for a second, and we left it in where we went to the negative. You'll hear a couple minor chords because you can't stay up all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have a bad game, man, boom, or you threw somebody out but you hit their head on the way out. You didn't mean to do that, and you feel like a schmuck for doing it. And you can't get that time back.
Yeah.
But you have to realize, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
Now that you're down, what do you do with that to get out of it?
Yeah.
You can't stay there. Don't stay there. Don't choose that. But you choose. Yeah. Every day you choose.
Yeah.
And if you don't realize that by this time, we're telling you that you choose that every day.
Yeah.
Wake up and decide what you're going to do with it.
Yeah. See, this is why I love you, because you're just like so positive.
No,
There's no way. It's like I was in a crummy mood before I came.
No, I doubt that.
I wasn't.
You never are.
KJ, Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
right
you for,
back at you, my friend. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm honored to be among those you've interviewed, and I'm honored to be interviewed by you. Thank you.
You're too kind. You are too
Just
kind.
honest.
Well, thank you for everything you've done for me and everything that you've done for the area. It has been my pleasure to chat with you.
And mine.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, and we are going to play out with a composition by KJ and Tug McGraw. You Gotta Believe, on the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast.
Up in anger or open the doors. A good life is out there and dreams really soar. Oh, you gotta believe. Yeah, you gotta believe that love is your friend, that kindness and gentleness win in the end, and black and white issues can really bend. Oh, you gotta believe. Oh, you gotta believe. You gotta believe. Yeah, you gotta believe. Yeah, you gotta believe. Have faith and let positives breathe. Yeah, you gotta believe. You gotta believe that your day will be great, and go out each time with a smile. Don't wait, 'cause life is so short, and before it's too late, oh, you gotta believe. Yeah, you gotta believe that the sun's gonna shine, and you gotta believe that your ducks are in line. 'Cause when you believe, oh, your world will be fine. Oh, you gotta believe. Oh, you gotta believe. You gotta believe. Yeah, you gotta believe. Yeah, you gotta believe. Have faith and let positives breathe. Yeah, you gotta believe. What Tug McGraw said. In baseball or life, an attitude spreads. So why not believe then that all coins are heads, and choose to let negatives leave? Oh, you gotta believe. Yeah, you gotta believe. Oh, you gotta believe.
Collaboration between KJ and Tug McGraw. You gotta believe, and you gotta believe I had a wonderful time sitting down and chatting with my friend KJ, and it was just so nice to really get to know her. I've met her a few times and shared a stage with her, but it was just so nice to get to meet her. And check her out. She is an international touring musician, and she plays here locally. Make sure that you get out and see her. And walk up and say hi. She is just so approachable and so nice, and we thank her for sitting down with us. Hey, each week on the Rec Room Radio Hour, 6 p.m. on WXPIRadio.org, you can hear the best of the Central Susquehanna music. And while you're at WXPIRadio.org, consider making a financial contribution to our community radio station here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Until next time, I'm your host, Michael Lundy, asking you to don't fret, stay tuned, play nice, and stay hydrated. Until next time on the podcast, bye-bye.